The CBC is a difficult matter because it was rushed without proper public participation. I remember the former CS for Education, CS Amina Abdallah, had said that we wait for a while. And the then president could hear none of it, and he ordered for it to be rolled out. And as a result, it was rushed. It is a paradigm shift in our education system in terms of the curriculum, in terms of teachers, in terms of physical facilities. The country was not ready. It was rushed. So when we were campaigning, we had a session with all stakeholders in matters education, and they took us through the challenges of CBC. And on assuming office, the first month, President P.Ruto established the Presidential Working Party on Educational Reforms. That party, led by Professor Raphael Munavu, has traveled the breadth and width of this country and talked to stakeholders, pupils, teachers, parents, educationists, private owners of schools, and they are in the last stage of compiling a report. But they did submit an interim report to the president because we needed to make certain decisions. Because there was an exam for the pupils in Standard 6, and they needed to know what is their future. And the report that came to the president, and the president concurred, the recommendation by the people of Kenya through the Presidential Working Party on Educational Reforms was that junior secondary school be domiciled in primary schools. And that decision has been made. Already, there is a crisis. The crisis would have been tenfold had we proceeded on the initial plan of those young boys and girls going to secondary school. Already the parents are having a challenge even affording the school uniform for the junior secondary school. And the president has directed the Minister for Education to make sure that no child is barred from going to class on an account of not having a uniform for the junior secondary school. So I want to say that there are good elements in CBC, but there is quite a number of issues that require serious reform. So we have agreed as a government, we are not doing away with CBC, but there is going to be tremendous reform. And the situation we are in, it is because the previous administration did not have respect for public participation. They dictated a system without talking to the stakeholders. They needed to talk to the teachers. They needed to talk to the parents. They needed to talk to the educationists. And now what has happened is that they have been spoken to, and they have given their views on how to make this system work. We are waiting for the final report, which will be ready before the end of this month, on the various recommendations on how to reform CBC and other reforms in the educational sector, including training, including universities. We have a big challenge in our universities where they are not able to sustain their activities because of lack of funds from the National Treasury. There are various reforms that will be initiated on how we handle our universities. There will be reforms on the TVET sector. So the whole thing, the Presidential Working Party on educational reforms will come up with a holistic recommendation on how to re-engineer the whole educational sector for the purpose of our children and for prosperity, for the years ahead.